Hello, I am Mike, iOS engineer with over 10 years of experience. At that time, I was one-man army, member of the development team lead, technical consultant, and engineers manager. I would like to share my experiences and observations with you, and maybe you will learn something new or avoid mistakes I made. Today, I would like to talk about TT Club and 2 Club. Let's start it from TT Club, which means Two Tickets Club. I think this story perfectly describes what this club is about. Imagine you are working on one task, and after a few days you've done it. You've met all the acceptance criteria, your tests are green, and lead isn't complaining about the style and format. So you go to the Ready for Review column and inform other team members about it. Your code is waiting for approval. You are a great programmer. There should be no problems with the review, and by the end of the day, your code will be approved and then smoothly go to the QA department. After a few manual tests, you will receive a quality mark, and before end of the week, your PR will be waiting for your final move and will be ready to be merged. It was easy job, right? So, to not waste time, you will grab another one, and then, after a few days, surprise programmer, here comes the reality. In your PR, you are receiving comments, questions, propositions, or advice how to improve your code. Also, you received information that you should update current tests or add new one for new business logic. So you are changing branches and addressing all comments. Yeah, by required changes, your ticket need to go back from in review to in development column, and now two tickets are assigned to you. After resolving all threads in your PR, you are pushing new code, updating status, and going back to the second ticket. Time passes, and you received approval, but then you noticed that you had some conflicts, so again, quick branch changes, merging on rebasing to the top of the develop, pushing new code, and handing over it to the QA team. But then you realize that accidentally you discarded all changes in a new task. You may have come across this idea. Since I done it once, I can do it again, even better one, right? We all love testers. They are a very important part of the team because they see more things, can provide edge case scenarios, and are our guardians of the quality. So, testers start asking questions, finding cases without test, letting you know that code in this state is not able to be tested automatically, or your changes broke payment flow. Now, you need to again switch your context, but this time you are smart enough to store properly all changes in the second ticket. After a few conversations with testers, some calls, you are ready for the final round and keep your finger crossed that now your code will be approved also by the QA team. Yeah, this is your lucky day. You can hit merge button and move your ticket to the done column. But there's always one but. Before doing that, you need to update your branch with develop and again wait for green build on CI. After merging your task, you can come back to your second ticket, but then you realize that there is only one day to the end of the sprint. After this story, I think we can now change the TT Club to the Crying Emoji Club. I think some of us were or currently are members of this club, so please leave this place and try something else. My suggestion for you is 2 Club, which stands for Trinity of Ones, which means One task, one pull request, one merge. One task. This means that you should fully focus on one ticket at a time. Then you can take part in creating acceptance criteria, propose solutions that will improve the project, or after creating the ticket, clarify it and change something or add missing cases. By focusing on one context, it's easier to stay fluid and avoid simple mistakes like typos or placing business logic in the view layer. When your code meets all acceptance criteria, you can check which tests are worth updating and think about new tests to add. Once all your local tests are green, you can open a pull request. One pull request. Once you open a pull request, you should tend to it like a gardener, from seed to flower. Be ready to receive comments, questions, or tips. Since you are only assigned to one task, you have time to analyze the feedback and try to address it as best as you can. Just because you moved a ticket to the Ready for Review column doesn't mean you have nothing to do and need to move to a new task. Take this time as an opportunity to help some members of your team do a review for other developers, learn something new about your domain or language that you use. And please don't say you have to get a new ticket because you have nothing to do. After receiving approval, I suggest updating your code to the current version of Develop if something new has been added. Build your code in a release environment to verify that everything is working correctly. This way, you will have a downloadable artifact that you can give to a tester to ensure that you are checking the same version of the application. Then you can move your ticket to ready for QA state. If you focus only on the one ticket, you are ready to work closely with the tester. You can present what environment and credentials were used for developing, or prepare a recording in which you explain what was done. This will definitely improve communication between programmers and testers, and I believe that the time needed for this stage will be shorter. One merge. Once you have received the quality mark from the quality control team, you are ready for the final step. Before hitting the merge button, make sure you are up to date to avoid missing changes that were made while you were in the review state. If you miss any important changes, you can become a developer. It is also a good practice to wait for CI tests to be performed rather than hoping that the merge will not disrupt the entire project.